Yeah, hi there. These comments are for MA, and this is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT, your online TOEFL course. And you're also one of my students over at California State University, San Bernardino. And it is my pleasure right now to read your first independent writing practice test 1. So let's get started. So in terms of the essay, I think you're going in the right direction with it. So let's take a look first at the organization of the essay, then we can take a look at the development, and then we can even look at the smaller aspects of the paper, including your vocabulary, your grammar, and a few other areas. So first of all, in your introduction, you do have a thesis, and the main thing that you want to focus on is being respectful, honest, and helpful as being important qualities of a good roommate, right? So in your second paragraph, you mention the first idea about being respectful and how that is important in a roommate. In your second idea, you say the roommates need to be honest. And then it looks like in your fourth paragraph, you have the idea about being helpful. Now, the one thing that I would recommend on that fourth topic sentence, your fourth topic sentence is more of a fact. You say it is impossible to live with a roommate without needing him. Now, your previous topic sentence says an important factor that keep the roommate live for a long time is honesty. Excuse me. And the one before that is the roommate should show respect, right? So the previous two topic sentences are more argumentative, but this one in your fourth paragraph doesn't work so well. So you might want to do something like this. You might say the final quality of a good roommate is that he or she is helpful. Right? Okay, now, so I think that third topic sentence could be improved. You do have a conclusion, and in the conclusion you restate your key points. Okay, so that's my comments right now by your organization. Now let's take a look at your details. In the second paragraph, you talk about having a test and about how that the roommate should not play music loudly at midnight so that you can prepare for that. Now, what I would say when you get to the example is you need to tie the example back to this idea of respect. So you might say, for instance, if your roommate has a final test tomorrow and he or she wants to sleep early, you should be respectful by not playing the music loudly at midnight. You see what I did? I took that final sentence of that second paragraph, I connected the example back to the purpose of the paragraph. Just a suggestion. Okay, and the third paragraph, let's take a look at your examples here. So you're talking about honesty, right? You have, for example, my friend, roommate went for a vacation for his family, and after leaving he sent to my friend a massage. Said, I went to my family vacation, I will not pay the rent. My friend get mad because his roommate didn't let him know early to arrange new roommate. In simple world, roommates should agree for being honest with each other from the beginning. Okay, so that's good. So it takes the example that you used, and in that case you did tie it back to the purpose of the paragraph. I think that's good. In your fourth paragraph, your example, you have, I reached the point I do not have money even to pay for a meal from McDonald's. The only choice is to ask my roommate for help. Okay, so you do give, you do connect the example back to the purpose of the paragraph there. Alright, so far I've commented on your organization. I've also commented on your development. So now let's take a look at the grammar. This is where you're really struggling. You have a lot of problems with your grammar. So let's take a look at each paragraph, and I will give you a specific example of something that you could change that would improve the readability and the polish of the essay. Okay, in your final paragraph, which is your thesis, in the first paragraph, you say, because they live with each other's, need qualities for sharing life such as being respectful, honesty, and helpful. There are so many problems there. That's a fragment, first of all, and you're having a lot of problems with your word choice. Now, what you might want to do to complete this idea, you might say, because students have to live with each other, comma, or actually I might say this, because students live together and have to share a life, comma, they should be respectful, honest, and helpful. That would be how I would revise that last sentence of that first paragraph. So what I did is I rewrote your sentence, so you now have what's called a complex sentence. You have a dependent clause and you have an independent clause there, and I changed the respectful, honesty, and the helpful. I made them all adjectives. For example, respectful is an adjective. If you say honest, that's an adjective. Helpful is an adjective. Honesty, the way you use it, is a noun. Okay, so that's a problem with sentence structure, and that will affect your score quite a bit in the writing section of the test. All right, let's go to the next paragraph. Okay, let's take a look at let's look at your very first sentence. You say, because I will spend most if my time with my roommate, the roommate should show respectful for each other by showing good manners. Okay, unfortunately, your spelling, you can have spelling problems, but you're changing the word to a completely different word. So I would change this sentence to read like this. Because I will spend most of my time with my roommate, comma, my roommate should show respect. I'm using a noun there after show because show is a verb. You need an object there, not an adjective. So my roommate should show respect by showing good manners. I wouldn't even say for each other. Again, I would just say my roommate should show respect by showing good manners, or by displaying good manners. Not minors, but manners. Manners is M-A-N-N-E-R-S. You have minors, which is a completely different word. Minor means someone who is under the age of 18. Okay, let's go to your third paragraph, and let's take a look at one sentence in there that needs correction or correcting. Okay, in the first sentence you say, an important factor that keep the roommates live for a long time is honesty. Now when you say live as opposed to not dead, so you're saying being honest will keep the roommates from dying, but I don't really think that's what you want to say here. So that word choice is interfering in the meaning of your idea. So you might say something like this. An important factor that keeps, use keeps the singular, because factor is singular, make keep singular, that keeps roommates living together. How about this? Living harmoniously together is even better. Harmoniously means they live in harmony. For a long time is honesty. So let me rewrite that sentence one more time. An important factor that keeps the roommates living harmoniously together for a long time is honesty. Right? So I changed that one as well. Okay, let's go to your fourth paragraph. It says, it is impossible to live with a roommate without needing him. Okay, this is okay. Now then you say, because you are far away from your family and friends, this is a fragment. There is no main subject and no main verb here. We've seen in previous paragraphs, MA, that you are having some trouble with what's called sentence formation. Remember that each sentence has to have at least a subject and a verb in the main or independent clause part of the sentence. Okay, I would change this to say this. I wouldn't even use you. You is not the right point of view here. I would say, because I am far away from my family and friends, comma, I should have a roommate who is always willing to help me at any time. That's how I would revise that particular sentence. All right, let's go to the final paragraph, and I'll make one more change. Okay, how about the first sentence? In conclusion, there are important qualities for a good roommate. I wouldn't say there, because there it almost sounds like you're introducing this information for the first time. I'd probably say something like this. Instead of there are, say, in conclusion, the important qualities for a good roommate are being respectful, honest, and helpful. That would probably be the way I would rewrite that first sentence in your paragraph. Okay, so let's take a look at how you would score here. Is with your essay, I have good and bad news with your essay. The good news is you definitely have the idea of how to organize your response. You know how to structure your thesis. For the most part, except for the one paragraph where I didn't really think you had a great topic sentence, but you're doing a pretty good job in structuring your topic sentences, and also in providing adequate supporting details to support those generalizations. However, you have numerous problems with word choice or word forms. You have a large number of errors in sentence structure and or usage. And that would definitely bring your essay below the 3 range. So for this essay, I'm going to give you 2.0 out of 5 or 14 points out of 30 on this particular writing task. So what you want to do is, I would recommend, I think that you need to spend more time in the grammar part of my course, I think, than any other area that I have. So I'd recommend that you go through grammar lessons 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you go through those lessons, I think it's going to be even good for you to copy down the examples that you see in the video, rewrite them so you can get more used to the grammar of the English language. Remember that you have many word choice problems. You're not sure whether to use an adjective or whether to use a noun. You're not very familiar with the different word forms. You're also having a lot of problems with basic sentence structure. So by writing, not just reading, I don't think just watching or reading something is good enough for you right now to solve your grammar problems. You need to write down on the sheet of paper the examples that you're seeing so you can practice. So go through my grammar part of my course, do grammar lessons 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then go to grammar lesson number 7. This takes you to a website called A Writer's Reference by Dana Hacker. And there, I think it's really important for you to complete all of the writing and the grammar exercises at that website. Again, as you go through the practice exercises, it'll show you which sentence is correct. Again, write those sentences onto a separate sheet of paper so you can practice the grammar a little bit more. This is going to be very important for you. Now, in addition to taking these suggestions, I think it would be also good for you to spend some time reading magazines, reading newspapers, reading books, You just need a little more contact with seeing vocabulary. For example, have you seen the word honest? Do you know that's an adjective? Have you seen the word honesty? Do you know that word's a noun, right? I noticed in your writing you had a lot of problems with that word. You weren't sure whether to say honest or honesty. So the more that you read, the more you will see these words. You will see them used in different types of paragraphs, different contexts. And that will help you solve some of these problems. So those are my suggestions right now. It's not going to be easy. And I would guess that based on your grammar problems, you're going to have a lot of trouble with the TOEFL grammar section also. So if you follow my suggestions right now, take maybe, and I don't know that I can solve these problems for you in say 4 or 5 weeks, but you probably need to take my advice and do these things for several months, I think, before you really begin to see a significant reduction of errors both in your writing and maybe even when you're speaking. All right, anyway, thank you for doing the assignment, and keep up the good work, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.